Yo Bladrons, welcome back to a new Lightning Quick Repairs episode. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Motorola Moto E4. This needs a display replacement. The phone actually works still, but yeah, as you can tell, the phone is absolutely shattered to bits. So we're going to be repairing that today. So that's a brand new display that I got from a supplier, and I'm actually surprised they still had these. For one, we're going to need a screwdriver set. Obviously, we're going to need some pry tools. And we might need a heat mat or a heat gun or air gun or whatever you're using to remove this display from the frame. Right now we need to turn the phone off, so let's do that. There we go. Strong vibration motor this is. So let's start taking this off. I didn't even realize the fact that you can, remove the back plate. I didn't know. Okay, so once you've removed the back plate and the battery, there are quite a lot of Phillips screws around the perimeter. So you want to grab your screwdriver set and you just basically want to start unscrewing all the screws that you can see. Okay, so I've just taken all these screws out. I'm just checking to see if there is any more, which there doesn't look to be. You pry it right here between this seam right there. So let's just do that. Oh, there we go. There we go. Let's see what's holding on. Nothing. Okay, so that's one, and this should be able to come out too. Yeah, there we go. Now it's starting to make sense. So let's just put that off to the side now. So we've got a few flex cables here. This one's definitely for the display. What we can actually do is, this will be the most perfect time to test because you haven't taken off the new screen yet. Here's the new LCD. Obviously it's aftermarket, this wouldn't be original. But at the end of the day, these phones use LCD, so I couldn't really care less. Perfect time to test it. Let's just fold that cable over and plug this one in. Yeah, that went in. Okay, that's fine. So that's our battery in. Yes, amazing. That is working right there. And the screen quality is actually pretty good. It's actually not bad. So that's amazing. Once this boots up, and this is all fresh, like, you know, it's all wiped and stuff. Once it's booted up, we can actually give it like a little test. Brightness is a bit dim though. Wonder why that is. I think it's got the automatic brightness on. Let's see, display. Oh yeah. Oh, there we go. That's a lot better. So far, the display actually seems to be testing fine. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do like a little drag test, just like that, and we can see. Oh, careful! And we can see the display is responding perfectly to touch, and it's working all over, which is amazing. More flex cables to disconnect. That one, and there's a antenna right there. So let's just pop that up. There isn't anything else other than the fact that there are two screws holding it down. Oh, we can also disconnect the camera afterwards. So let's take these screws out. And obviously, because these screws are different from the housing, make sure you keep these separate. Let's see if we can just remove this motherboard without disconnecting the camera. Hopefully we can. Yes, we can. Amazing. And there's a cable. Oh. I don't know if you can see that. There's a cable right there. That's going to be a nightmare to get in. That's holding this motherboard in. So let's just carefully disconnect that. There we go. Oh, wow. Whoever genuinely thought of that is stupid. That is one of the most weirdest places to put a connector. But either way, that's out. And we can remove this one down here. There we go. That's one. That's two. That's three. There we go. And there's just one screw right there. And these, the motherboard screws are all the same. Amazing. So that just comes out like that. So let's put that off to the side. And I think pretty much we are good to go to remove this display from the frame, although what terrifies me the most is this fingerprint sensor right here. Alright, so I've got the heat plate right here, and I'm just gonna let it boiled the screen, cooked the screen. I've just taken out the antenna cable just so that it doesn't get burned. And I think there's like a little piece of plastic that doesn't really matter, so that can be off to the side. We're gonna let this heat up for a little bit. I did also want to mention that this is the fingerprint cable, this one right here. You need to be very careful when prying around there, as obviously the last thing you want to do is rip that fingerprint sensor, because it's a nightmare to get back in. And obviously because you're replacing the display, you could also replace the fingerprint sensor, but you don't want to break it in the first place. So that's something that I'm going to keep in mind. But I'm going to let this cook and we'll take it apart. I can see the screen starting to slowly separate, which is a good sign. Let's see if I can... yeah, I can hear it peeling. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's starting to come apart. So just be very gentle. Ouch. Yeah, this display is cooked. No pun intended. I think that's a little... I think that's part of the display cable. I think we could just disconnect that, or it might be the digitizer. Okay, we'll remove that one afterwards. Let's just be very careful about that, because now we have to deal with the bottom. So let's put this in there. Just be very, very careful around it. Okay, I think... oh, there we go. Awesome. Amazing. That just came out like that. And let's see, what's this held in by? This is held in by something. Oh, this. I'm not sure if that's meant to be there. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Nice. And this. There we go. Awesome. That's our old display out. Nice. Did I get in between that display? Yeah, I did. Oh well. For the kicks and giggles, we can always test it. Oh, we can always test it out before we put the new screen back on. So because we didn't put too much heat on it, I wanted to make sure that I put heat but not too much heat, as then the glue will get really sticky when it starts melting, and that's annoying. But if you put enough heat where you can start feeling it get quite hot, but not enough heat where the phone's burning, you'll get the adhesive to come off just as smooth as this, right? It's a bit of a fuckery, I won't lie, but amazingly that's clean from the get-go, which is amazing. What we can do is, if we just have a toothbrush I've got one right here, just quickly give that a brush so then no glass shards are on it. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so let's get this display. What was that little thing? Oh, that's just a little grounding point. So I've just looked at what that little point there was that was stuck over here. It's just a little grounding point, so that's not even necessary. You can even put tape on it. I'm gonna put B7000 on the edges right here and right here, and then I'm gonna put double-sided tape here because the surface areas are bigger. So let me just grab those. Okay, I've got my tape, my double-sided tape, and I've got my B7000 glue. The first thing I'm going to do is put the double-sided tape on, as I don't want glue to get all over my hands and shit. Oh, I've just remembered, we need to take off the fingerprint sensor. That should just, awesome, come off just like that. And that should have enough strength to just stick right back on there. There we go. There we go. Okay, so I've just put adhesive on the midpoint where the LCD would actually sit into, and I've got adhesive right here. Let's just quickly grab the screen and let's put, there's a plastic screen protector. Let's glue this fingerprint sensor in. So we need to make sure that this cable right here goes upwards. This is going to be a mess, but it doesn't really matter as long as you're not getting it where it would actually sit. That's all that matters. There we go. There we go. Just like that. There we go. A little bit of the glue came out on this side, but that's not a problem because once it dries you could just rub it off clean. Let's get this and let's just put the glue on. But now that that's done, we have to be quick. We don't have much time, and I've just got glue on my hands. Let's peel off this tape. Okay, all of the tape adhesive, the backing has been removed, so we can just quickly set that off to the side. We can just double check, ensure that that's properly sitting, which it is. And now we can take off this blue plastic backing right here. There we go, just like that. Let's check the digitizer. It is properly connected. Yep. And we need to make sure this little piece right here, let's fold that a little bit so then we know it needs to come out of the other side. So that goes in like that. I've just realized something. I'm glad I've just noticed it now. We didn't put the front grille on. There we go. Got that. There we go. Got it. Okay, that was a mess, but we managed, and now we gotta get this fingerprint sensor in. Come on. Got it. That's that. There we go. Got it. Okay. Now I think now we are good to just put this in. Just like that. Let's put this phone back together now, shall we? So let's start off with the charging port. Let's just put that in. Awesome. And let's grab our screwdriver, and if you remember, there was one silver screw there, so let's put that silver screw in. Motherboard's over here, so let's plug this in. This cable is going to be a bit of an awkward one. So the trick with this is you get at a right angle. You can bend it up ever so slightly. You get it at a right angle, and then you connect it in, so just like that pretty much. So let's see if I can get it. I got it. Perfect. So you could just use your finger to connect that in there. This one, it's not that big of a deal, although we could put some tape on it. There we go. There we go. Got it. Okay, that's in there. Okay, now that this connector has been connected, we can fold this over and make sure you take that cable away. That's for the volume flex and the power button. What we can do, as we mentioned earlier, just for shits and giggles, is we can plug this display in and see if we killed it. So let's do that really quickly. Before we do that, let's connect the power button and stuff. Oh, that is terrible. Shit. Wow. I mean, okay, now it. Wow, look at that. Hold on. I don't know if I want to make this worse, but at the same time, I do. Oh, look at that. Okay, with the old screen out of the way, let's put this all back together, shall we? So that just folds over like this, and also we will have to test this, so we're gonna have to do that again. Color mode. Yeah, vibrant looks a little bit better. Oh whoa, that's the vibration motor. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's a third-party screen. It's a cheap screen, and now it actually looks a little bit better. Whoops. That goes, I think it's just like that there. Remember the two silver screws, we need to put those in. Right, so that one goes here, and the last one goes on the left side, right here. And let's put that in. That just clips in, and we just get our screws and start screwing these in. So we've got our top screwed in, and now we just got to do the bottom with the speaker. There's nothing really to clean here, everything's all pretty clean. So let's just, oh yeah, fingerprints all in there, so that should just go in. Yeah, that just goes in, so it's held on by screws. That is our phone completed. So let's put the battery in, and where's that back cover? Back cover's here. There we go, all clipped into place and all sorted. Let's turn this on now, and we should be able to hear the startup sound. And let's see, hold on. Okay, and that is the repair pretty much done. So I've scraped off as much as I can off of this, and I've took a little bit of the glue off around the edges just so that it looks ever so slightly better, but I'm gonna do all of that off camera. This is for me anyway, so I can't really care. I won't lie when I say it's not the most perfect repair that I've done, but nonetheless, that's how you would replace a Motorola Moto E4 display. And the display is all fully working and the speaker is working, so I'm just going to quickly, yeah, you can hear that. Thank you guys very much for watching this episode. I hope you liked it, and I hope you managed to repair your own Moto E4s, and I'll hope to see you again in the next Lightning Quick Repairs. Take care.